Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Jeff. As you guys can see, we're outside again, and I wanted to take advantage of today's weather. Can you believe 50 degrees on January 5th? Just might be a record for around here, but not entirely sure. We are getting ready to cut up another one of the logs that I had mentioned to you guys about, and what I want to do with this video is I just want to show you guys how I assess a log and how I cut it up for the kind of lumber and kind of slabs that I'm going to use to make the kind of furniture that I make in my business. There's been some comments, some of them not so nice, which I've deleted because some of you guys are unbelievable, but other comments that have been very constructive, asking questions regarding the limitations and talking about taking some of these bigger logs that I get to somebody else's sawmill. Guys, that's not how I'm wired. I do things myself. I built my house, rebuilt my house, built my shop. I pretty much am the type of person who does everything himself. I don't like to rely on others. Very rarely does it turn out the way I want to. I used to take logs to another sawyer 20 years ago, and I cannot tell you how many times I got logs cut completely different than the way I wanted to cut them. Wanted to have them cut, and he would never let his customers be there when he was sawing. He couldn't handle the pressure, so I just stopped that altogether. So anyway, back to the task at hand. What we have is we've got a big maple log again. This one's got a crotch. It grew right down the street from me. One of my neighbors had several trees taken down. This was literally parked out at the road saying, "Free, come get me." One Sunday morning a few months back, I drove down there with my skid loader with the forks on and grabbed several logs. Some of them are just firewood, and I heat the shop with that, but some of them look like they have the possibility of having some nice figures. So we're either, once again, cutting expensive firewood, or we're going to get some spectacular slabs. We got lucky on the last log with the crotch maple. That was beautiful. I'm hoping for more of the same here. What this log is it has two different trees that grew side by side that basically grew together. So it's really big. At this end, we're looking at 44 inches. Woodmizers, 26 inches between the guides. That's the widest board you can cut, and if you're cutting slabs like this that have just a little bit of curve and whatnot, you're either doing a lot of finagling with the log up on the log deck, which is not easy to do. I mean, this log is over 1,000 pounds. Otherwise, you're working within the means of what the sawmill gives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I have to do in order to make this log work. First of all, I very rarely get requests from customers to make tables that are 10 feet long. They won't fit in most houses. They do fit in some, but then you're talking about a table that could easily, with a couple of slabs put together with big legs to hold it up and all the rest, weigh 700, 800, 900 pounds. Most people just don't want to deal with something like that. You don't want to have to lift the roof off and bring a crane and just get the dang thing inside the house. So what we have here is we've got this big sweep, and you can see this big gap where my foot is. I don't want to stick my head down there just in case this log rolls on me. But to right about here, we're looking at right around 6 feet from that end. And then roughly about 4 feet to that end. A little bit over, I cut this 10 foot 6 inches. So I am never going to use a 10-foot log, 10-foot boards in this manner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one 4-foot section that I'm going to mill that is going to be usable for things like smaller desks and cocktail tables and end tables. And then the bigger end of this log is going to be for kitchen tables and bigger desks. So let's get at it. Enough talk. I'm going to get the saw. I'm going to relieve this right about right here and get this thing cut so that we can get it on the sawmill. And that also makes these slabs, I'm working by myself, makes these slabs a heck of a lot more usable and movable by me individually without throwing 3 discs out the back of my back. I'm 54 years old now. I'm not in my 20s anymore where I could put this thing on my shoulder and walk away with it. So let's go ahead and get this thing going, and we'll bring you over to the sawmill and start slicing it up, and let's see what we get out of it. Okay, I've got the end that I'm going to cut off first, which is this part, which is sticking out. I'd love to keep it, but it's just too wide. I've got to get this whittled down so that it'll fit in between the guides once I roll it over on its side. And what I've got here is a bit of this end of the log is sticking down below the bed because it's got some sweep to it. So I've jacked the other end up, and I've got a couple of 2x6s underneath it to kind of get the top of this log leveled out. And then because this is sticking down about an inch, inch and a half below, I'm going to open up this side at 24 inches, which will give me an extra 2 inches once I roll it over sideways. And if I book match these boards on this center line here, that's going to give me the ability to have 48-inch wide tabletops, which is more than plenty wide enough. So let's get after it, and I'm just explaining what I'm doing here. So now, in order to get the best figure out of that crotch, we've got to have the heart of this branch coming off be at the same height of that one, which is going out the other side. That's I just cut a big chunk of it off, but like I said before, we can't handle boards that way. So all the crotch is right in through here anyway, and that's the effect of the wood we're after. So let's get this clamped up and start slicing. Okay, so we've got 5.5 inches left of height here of wood, and right now we are dead nut centered on the pith of the log. So that center piece all the way down to the end, it's within a foot of the end, is where the tree started to grow. That is going to crack and get really nasty, so we want to get rid of that, and I don't want to include it in a board, because by the time this thing is dry, it'll be split like the Grand Canyon, and the only thing you'd be able to make out of it at that point is like a river table or something like that, which is not my thing. So I'm going to go ahead and remove 1 inch of this. That'll leave me 4.5 inches, and that's going to leave 2 1/4 slabs. That'll be perfectly book matched for each other for use. And then this piece, we'll be able to use both sides of the center just simply by cutting the pith out for drying. This is what I'm talking about. It's some cool grain, but this thing is split all the way down to right here. So, you know, it's just better to cut this out. That way the quality of the other 2 boards will be much better. Okay, I got the board set up. Here's the results. Basically what I did is I set 3 sets up as book match pairs. I ended up getting a grand total of 5 book match pairs, but I'm running out of daylight, so I wanted to show you. I'm 6'2", so they're just a little bit taller than me. Probably 6'5", 6'5", so right in that 77-inch range, somewhere in there. We got some nice crotch wood, and you know, these individual boards by themselves are nice, but when you combine them together, these will be live edge for tables. Glue it together down the middle. Obviously, you got to join it and get it all ready after it's dried and whatnot. But you know, depending on whether or not I take these to the kiln and get them dried, or just let them air dry, you know, these are going to turn out to be really nice. So, what do you guys think? I'm really pleased with the way these turned out. I think that's going to make a fantastic looking table. Let me show you the other sets. Here's the other 2 sets that I set up. I got those 2 guys with the bark inclusions running in opposite directions, book matched as well. And then that is probably the cleanest one. And we've got that nice, beautiful, feathery crotch figure up at the top, which you guys can see right there. So once that's dried and planed, that's really going to turn out really sweet, really nice. I can't wait to get these guys turned into furniture. And then the other 4 slabs, and I've got, actually those are 3 right there, and I've got another one up at the shop. And those kind of are a little bit more, a little less figure and a little more white, which is nice. They're all 8/4, so they're gonna probably get turned into furniture parts and stuff like that. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video with me showing you how I end up with getting some book match slabs out of trees that otherwise would be firewood. And if you guys haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and please like the video so that it'll get noticed. And please, if you guys do go on social media, I'd appreciate it if you'd share the video so that others will see it, and that'll help the channel grow. So from the Vintage Workshop out at the sawmill, this is Jeff saying so long. I'll see you guys next time.